Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is a last minute video because as you can see I'm in a different room. I'm actually in the bathroom, but I wanted some privacy because I want to talk about a specific issue that's been on my mind for a while. As with anything, I have to reflect on it, let it marinate before I actually come to you and talk about it. But I wanted to talk to everyone about the concept of relationships, soulmates, divine partnership, whatever. But not so much in the context of finding your soulmate or, finding a divine partner. More so about the process of, I guess, understanding the dynamics of relationships and what it is that you need to be mindful of, especially based on what I've been hearing. Get comfortable here. Based on what I've been hearing, what I've been seeing, as far as, the like feminine movements and, certain circles within the New Age and some of the things that they talk about. And why it's important for us to be cognizant of relationships and how to work through them, how to understand them. Because I don't feel like there's a lot of elevation being promoted and empowerment being promoted, especially for women. But as I've said previously, there isn't enough context being given as to how to go about that. Okay? So I'll try my best to condense this and make it as organized as possible. But I guess I'll start with this idea of what it's like to find, whether it be your divine partner, your soulmate, whoever it is that's the best match for you or a really good match for you. I feel as though the expectation for that level of relationship is perfection. And I feel when people are in this mindset of, I want to find my soulmate, I want to find my divine partner or the person that I'm going to marry. If you do want to get married, if that's your goal, that's what you want, okay, this is what I want. And the expectation seems to be around perfection. I feel like people mentally know, okay, nobody's perfect. So they say that to themselves because it sounds good and it sounds correct. But on a deeper soul level and like an understanding level, it's not there. They're not embodying that mental understanding. And this is a problem. And it's causing a lot of issues within the process of, I guess, sifting through, different people, in society and finding someone who is a good match for you. Now, I said I wasn't going to talk about the process, but I am going to speak a little bit about, I guess, being in a space of receiving or, coming into a partnership that's a good match for you. Because I don't even know where to begin with this. But I guess the thing is like, I find this especially among women. And I guess even myself, I could say this is something that I had to work through myself, which is why I could talk about it, is that there's this idea that if I'm going to be with someone that they can't have any baggage, they should have, worked through a lot of their stuff. They should have a car. They should have a certain amount of money. As a woman, I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to do that. A long list of demands and requirements as to what it is, as a woman, what is expected of their mate if they're, looking for a man. But I do feel that this list of expectations and demands is a problem because when you come into a space of being in the environment, in the midst of finding your partner, those lists are irrelevant. And that's the truth. Those lists are irrelevant because when you have a soul connection, that's not happening on a what's the word I'm looking for? is the word I've used before for like the mental, cerebral. It's not happening on a cerebral level. That's happening through the soul, through the heart space, right? So you can't initiate that kind of connection through, okay, let me look through my list. Okay, so how much money do you have? Okay, what kind of car do you have? Okay, are you currently in therapy? Okay, no. When someone is a good match for you specifically, they're going to be the person that is a match for you in such a way that both of you are meeting each other's needs and whatever that means for both of you. All right? You're complementing each other in some way. And it may not look the way you think it's supposed to look. All right? And I'll just say this honestly, your soulmate, when you meet them, they may not be in therapy. And I'm talking to women specifically. They might not be in therapy. They might not have their own car. They may not have their own house. They may not have their own apartment. Like, there are a lot of things that they may not have when you meet them, right? Now, it's not to say that they can't have goals, but you can't go into a relationship and just start demanding stuff. Okay, well now that we're together, you got to do this, you got to do that. That's not going to work because these are soul level relationships. Now, what I will say to kind of balance that is when it comes time for, like, when you start sifting through the relationship area, you do have to start paying attention to the sensations in your body. And I don't mean the butterflies and the, ooh, they're so cute, You have to start listening to your intuition, and your intuition will express itself through certain sensations in your body, gut feelings, certain sensations in your chest, your heart area. You'll start to see certain signs, and I'm not talking about the ones that you look for. Usually signs are things that hit you without you expecting it. So you'll see signs either confirming that yes, this is the right direction to go in, or no. But you need to start paying attention to that. Because here's the thing, women are afraid to listen to their intuition these days. And in the recent past, women have been afraid to listen to their intuition because in the past, they have associated those feelings that they get, like I said, the butterflies and all that, they think that's the intuition when it's not. It's just what happens when you're really attracted to somebody. But intuition goes beyond those fluttery feelings. So you have to start paying attention to your body, start strengthening your intuition, and start really feeling into yourself. Start really feeling into your physical body, your emotional body, all the different aspects of you. And start connecting to the universe and asking the universe to show you, to guide you. Is this the path that is most beneficial for me? Don't be scared of it. And understand that in the past, when you didn't have the right tools and you didn't know exactly how to navigate through your past relationships, that was because you just didn't know. You only know what you know. So there has to be a certain level of compassion and understanding that you have for yourself when you weren't able to see clearly that this person wasn't right for you, or wasn't the person that you were meant to be with, or have the understanding that maybe you were meant to connect to that person, you just weren't meant to marry them. That's also a possibility, that it was the kind of relationship where you had to work things out, you had to clear some things up before you were able to go to the next step, so you can learn the lessons that you needed to learn and then move on. So have that understanding that whatever happened in the past helped you to grow, helped you to have a deeper understanding of what to do, what not to do, what you could do differently next time, and move forward, right? So now, if you can do that, you'll help to create a nice amount of space for receiving the impressions, the guidance, and the intuitive, direction to be able to come together with a partner that's the best match for you. Okay? So again, this is not done through lists and demands. Again, those lists and demands are not based in love. They're not based in your soul's truth. They're based on your past pain. It's basically you trying your hardest to avoid the past repeating. And you could try so hard to avoid the past that you run right back into it. You're basically becoming a magnet for it, because you're basically still living in the past. So you're more likely to repeat those patterns. Okay? Now, let's say you get into a situation where you have found someone who's the best match for you, and maybe you're meant to marry them, you're meant to be with them for as long as, life will have you together. Be careful of having this expectation that, again, they'll have everything worked out, that things will go according to some sort of fairy tale story. When you get, all because someone is your soulmate or your divine partner, it doesn't mean that they're going to be perfect. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have problems. People need to be willing to grow with their partner. No one wants to grow anymore with their partner. They want their partner to have grown already, especially women. They want their partner to have grown already before they actually get into the partnership and come together. But that's not really likely, because one thing you have to remember is that relationships are mirrors. You're reflecting each other. And this reflection and many times the contrast that you experience with your partner is what helps you two to grow. So it's okay to have issues and problems that you both need to sort out, and things that when they come up, they reflect back to stuff that maybe you're still holding on to, certain ideas or paradigms, beliefs, patterns, and ways of being that are no longer necessary, that are no longer applicable to where you are now. And the same thing for your partner, right? So this needs to be understood, because what can happen is when problems start to come up, people get impatient and they get into this space of like, well, if they're not here, I'm gone. It's like, well, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to do that? Is that going to serve you? Is that going to serve them? Is that going to serve the relationship? See, as soon as issues start to come up, what happens is if we have not healed certain aspects of our past, and like I said, I'm not saying that you have to have this stuff healed before. Being in a relationship will bring that stuff up. That's actually part of the process of being in a relationship, even if it's a healthy relationship and it's a divinely orchestrated relationship, you may still have that stuff come up. This is part of love transmuting that which is not of love. That's part of the process. So when issues come up, what happens is people tend to fall back into the past, like, oh boy, here we go again. But you got to be careful of going in that direction. I mean, yes, going in that direction might happen, but that's part of the healing. But understand that's why it's happening. Don't think that when these things start to come up, that this means that this person isn't for you, or this person is just a bad person, or I made a mistake. Be careful of that, okay? We need to have some level of patience with the people that we're with, because whether or not people want to accept this or not, we're all messed up. All of us, every single one of us is messed up. I don't care how much healing you've done and how much you think you've done. None of us are perfect. We all have our issues. And we are all the products of our societal programming, the programming from our parents, the programming from society at large. We're all damaged in that way because of things that we've had to go through as individuals too. I mean, it's all connected. And as much as you think you've healed, man or woman, you're not as healed as you think you are, especially if you are with someone who is reflecting back to you certain issues. And now you're having to deal with that and navigate through that. Like, why? What's going on there? You know? So because we're all messed up, be patient. Be patient with your partner and yourself as you navigate through all of this programming, all of these, these ideas about relationships, these philosophies that we have on life and how things are supposed to go, how we think people are supposed to be, and have patience with them. Don't be so quick to jump up and run when something comes up that's an issue or a challenge or an obstacle, because in your past experience, obstacles meant the worst. It meant that someone just wasn't good and you were wrong. And it's not about that. Relationships, being in relationships and being involved with relationships, whether romantic or just platonic, just friends, are like, that's how we grow and evolve. It's like one of the quickest ways to evolve because it's a mirror. It's mirroring back to us what we have going on. And same thing we're doing for them. So there has to be a certain level of understanding, patience, and compassion, for ourselves and for everyone as we, move past all the stuff we've outgrown. And we're gonna make mistakes throughout this, evolution. That's how you learn to master something, is you master something by getting so in touch with it, by exploring through trial and error. Okay, I did this, that didn't work. That's not getting me where I want to go. Let me go in this other direction. Okay, that worked better, but you can only do that through experience. If you're perfect from the get-go, where's the evolution? It's okay to mess up. And it's okay for your partner to mess up. That's how you learn. Okay? So be careful of projecting, this kind of expectation of perfection, or what your idea of perfection is, on yourself, on your partner, on your idea of relationships. This doesn't mean that you deal with abuse. This doesn't mean that you have to tolerate certain kinds of behavior. It's not about that. It's just about having an understanding that there's a learning curve. And it's okay to go through that learning curve and you grow together. That's the beautiful thing about these relationships, is you grow together. That's what it's for. It's not just so you can live in a fairy tale, or an idea of a fairy tale for the rest of your lives. There's going to be storms. You weather them together. All right? So I just wanted to share that. Okay? So I hope you're all doing well. I've been dealing with some emotional stuff since the new moon in Gemini that we had a few days ago. And also the solstice gateway, working through some stuff, because this is a really big opening for a new beginning. And when new beginnings are at hand and they're unfolding, a lot of times there's a purge that happens. Gotta let go of all the old stuff. So that's what I'm going through. So that's why I've been absent for some time. But I hope you're all doing okay, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.